So excuse my, let's switch the camera around. Okay. Let us know if you can hear me. Sorry, it's pitch black at the moment. Give me 5 seconds. There's a little there's a little enclave of stuff there. Just making sure we're coming through, and we're coming through live. And daily survival in the house, Sandy in the house, and Purple Flurple. Look, oh, Peregrine Mongrel, Robert McNamara, all rocking. Let us know if you can hear okay. I'm not seeing any chats coming in saying anyone can hear anything. Oh, there you go, Daily Survival. Thank you, my darling. Appreciate that. I knew it'd be you. God dear. Right, first of all, got a couple of things going on. Right, first of all, you can see is my little area here. There's my iPad. I'll be using that later on. We'll be talking about some stuff. I've set a little light up here. I've got my tripod here, which you can't see. I tell you what, it's been really dodgy. I didn't get set up until it was already getting to be sunset. There's like loads of people around, and obviously this is supposed to be a stealth camp. It's supposed to be wild camping, right? There's new badger holes everywhere, which I might show you in a minute. But I need to make a cup of tea, right? So I've got my cup here. Got my cup here ready. Got milk. The caddy kettle's sitting over there. These are from Chrissy. Thank you very much. Daily Survival. These are some of the biscuits she bought me for my birthday. So I've got a couple of packs of those with me that I'm going to have with my tea. All the rest of my pack, you can see. By the way, this blow gluing thing is a tritium. This is like tritium glow thing. That's my water kit, which I'll be doing tomorrow as a water tester and everything. So I'm going to be doing my water filtration kit. Don't forget, I've got the new pump running off USB to pump straight out of the lake, straight through my filters. So that's the plan. I'll show you what's going on. There's been owls, I've heard badgers, foxes, you name it. It's been going crazy, right? I'm just taking you over to where the Kelly kettle is, yeah? So, let's crank it up a bit. That's probably a bit bright, isn't it? But this is some wood I've got pre-cut. I've got a couple of dry ones in there as well that I brought with me from home, just in case, because I can't afford for it to be too smoky. Jesus, that's bright. Yeah, so, and there's the Kelly kettle set up. I've actually already set up, you'll see, some tinder, and it's set up to do a boil. I'm desperate for a cup of tea. I haven't even had my first cup of tea yet. So, yeah, hold on. I just got to switch to stealth mode because, yeah, it's a bit... There's loads of fishermen over at the lake, and I was seen by a couple of them on the way in, which wasn't ideal. So give me 5 seconds to get set up, and then I'm going to get the Kelly kettle going. I'm going to put the phone in the mount. I'll let you see me, and then we'll be rocking. Loads of stuff going on. By the way, I've got a new wild discount on the hotspot. So anytime I'm doing a wild camp now, you'll get wild promotions, right? So the hotspot, ultimate survival hotspot, if you've ever wanted to get one, now's the time. They've been reduced while I'm on camp down to $199, down from $269, right? Links in the description. Survival hotspot, you'll see the link in the description. But yeah, so it's only while I'm on camp, and I'm on camp till Friday, and there's only 2 quantity at that price, just to push them out there, just while I'm camping and in preparation for my new ultimate prepping guide book that I'll be launching soon. So yeah, ultimate hotspot, offline internet, that's now link in the description, and you can pick that up today for $199, which is just crazy wild prices But like I say, it's just something I'm doing while I'm on wild camp for the next like 72 hours, 48 hours or whatever. And like I say, it's a maximum quantity of 2 on there. There's several more on as the normal price, but there's only maximum 2 at that price. So anyway, just so you know, links in description. Please hit the like button while you're there as well. I'm just going to figure out how I'm going to go about this. I've got this little light here, which is actually more of a studio camera-y type light rather than my rope light doesn't seem to be working. I think I just stretched it too far. My usual security system that I use with the PIRs that I put on the trees, so I can tell if anyone's entering my camp area, got all that with me, but I don't seem to have the actual AAA's and the AA battery little box, the batteries that go in it. So what a disaster. But so I've got no security. It's pitch black. I'm feeling pretty conscientious, and I'm feeling like I can't have my head torch at full blast. I've got it on stealth mode. It's an O light. You can use stealth mode on it, and it's like moonlight mode, I think they call it. It's supposed to be like moonlight, so that's what I'm rocking with at the moment. But in about 10 minutes I'll feel like it's going to be a little bit less bait to pump the lights on. But looks like I can switch the camera view from front to back quite easily. Thank you, Chrissy, for Day Survival, for getting the links in there for people. That's the one. The Wild Limited Time Wild price, that's it. Sorry, I'm just catching up with the chat. Eagle Hunting's with us as well. Great to see you. Slice of pumpkin pie, roughing it. I've got some I've got some pasta as well that I could do with cooking up. I've got a bag of bits. Let's have a look here. So got a bag of some fig rolls, got a tin of rice pudding as well, and no tin opener. I'm only joking. I've got a Swiss Army knife which has got a tin opener on it, which is a backup thing, so I thought let's try using that instead, is the idea. So what have we got going on? Right, 5 seconds. I think I'm going to light that fire because I'm desperate for a cup of tea. But I'm going to have a look at that pasta that I've got in there. This is like bushcraft stealth camp on a massive zero budget basically. So yeah, it's been a real bad couple of months for Secret Prepper. So hence the super duper deal on the ultimate hotspot for the next couple of days. Noelle Marie in the house. Great to see you, my darling. You have to dig grubs out of trees, isn't it? So right, let's get rid of this quickly. Bit late going live, I do apologise. So here's my bag of bits. I'm going to have a look at these pastas. I think I might cook tea first. This is a DD dry bag, basically, DD tarps. I've got like 2 different sizes of these, big one and small one. So there's this, you see. Now, I just spoke to Magic Hand, and she said, oh, actually, I don't know if this is supposed to be a mix of water or milk. So I've got a cheese and broccoli pasta and sauce. I'm not going to be able to read it from that. Cooking instructions. Microwave, that's what we need, isn't it? Microwave. So 5 minutes on the hub, that's basically what we're going to do. 350 ml water. Oh, here we go, and 120 millilitres of milk into a pan and bring to the boil with a knob of butter. Or margarine. So I don't have any butter or margarine. Oh dear. Stir in the contents of the pack and simmer gently. Dear oh me. So yeah, I didn't look at that. I should have done. What else we got in here? So plan B. I think this is the same. This is pasta and sauce as well. So I'll have these at home instead, chicken and mushroom, look. So this I imagine is going to be the same. I've got milk, I can do the milk, but I don't need margarine. I don't know if it necessarily has to have margarine. Let's have a quick look, make sure it's not any different. Semi-skimmed into a pan and bring to the boil with an oven. It's very specific, isn't it? Place at 305 millilitres. 305, seriously? I don't even think my cup, I've got my cup here for my Kelly kettle. I don't know if you can see, but in the side there, on the left hand side, is it? Yeah, you can just about see down the side there's a scale. But there's no way I'm going to be measuring out 305 millilitres with that nonsense. But I'll tell you what I have got is this. Oh no, they're jelly babies. We got jelly babies. Where's my noodles? I got a pack of noodles. Super noodles, that'll do the trick. If all else fails, super noodles in the house. Are you liking the fig rolls, are you? Love my hotspot, thank you eagle hunting. My ticket into the local survivor group when it hits the fan. Great to see you, Sandy. Oh, I tell you what else was a bit creepy. See, these are all right because super noodles look like well easy, and these were like 60p or something like that. Add noodles to 300 millilitres. I like it already. It's not saying 305. 300 millilitres of boiling water. Bring to the boil. Add flavour sachet. Reduce the heat and simmer for 4 minutes or until serve immediately and enjoy. So here we go. Looks like we're going to be doing super noodles and have to figure something else out for tomorrow. I've got a can of something in here as well as the rice pudding. There's the rice pudding, look, yummy. But I've got this baked beans. Yeah, baked beans and pork sausages. So that's always an option. So it's not like I'm going to be starving. Not amazingly starving, just a little bit starving. Just putting some of this back in the bag. There's so many creepy crawlies around here, you see. I've got to be making sure I put things back in this dry bag in between stuff. So anything else I'm doing, it's going to be the noodles. So I'll keep them out. And I'll, sorry, 5 seconds just while I seal this bag back up. And I think we're going to be quarter to 11 at night, you see. I'm feeling like it's going to be, there's my hammock is here. Yeah. Does that light it up much? There's my hammock. Okie dokie. So, shall we go and light the fire and make a cup of tea? Yeah, because that's what I'm feeling like we should be doing. And I've got my chair here as well. Let's pop the light on. Whoa. Hold on, 5 seconds. God, that's bright as hell. Sorry, 5 seconds. Jesus. That was on like super bright. The entire world knows I'm here now. I'm just setting the light up and then we'll be able to see what we're doing. So here we go, look. That's where I'm going to be sitting in a minute. Oh man, I've just turned it on something else. Didn't want to do that. But it's really bright. Really bright. I'm worried everyone's going to see me, but never mind. Right, let's get this fire lit because I'm dying for a cup of tea. Right. How safe are we? I don't know, but it's a really bright moon tonight. Let's see what we're doing. Let's pop some decent light in the subject, and we're going to get that going. Pop the Kelly kettle on. We won't worry about the noodles at the moment, although there is enough water in there to do the noodles as well. Should we do the noodles as well? Let's have a vote in the chat. Shall I do noodles and phone and cup of tea, or just the tea? Either way, we need to get, because if I do, I feel like I need to get my, yes, do both, because I haven't really eaten much today. So in which case, okay, if we're going to do that, we need to do a plan. So here we go. This is the camp. So what we're doing, we're probably going to need to put it in a pan, aren't we? Yeah, because I'm going to have it ready. I'm adding the noodles to 300 ml of boiling water, so can I even measure 300 ml out of it? Yes. Okay, so 300 ml, we can do that. So what I'll have to do then is I'll have to pour out the Kelly kettle into my Kelly kettle cup. Yeah. And then, like, when out of the Kelly kettle when it's boiled, right, and I have to pour it from that into the pan that you get here for the Kelly kettle. Yeah. So which will mean I'm also, this is all about preparation, you see. All about preparation. So I'm going to need this thing here, yeah, which is, I've got my bellows, telescopic bellows sitting there. I don't think we'll need that, we might as well, no, yes, we'll take that with us. So this here, you see, allows me to pick that up like that. Oh shit. It's not very stealth camping, is it, when you're making noises like that? So that's the idea of that, right? But the other thing I'm going to need for that is, so I need that and that. The lid I don't think we're going to need to worry about. So I need to put the noodles in there, pour in 300 ml of water, then pour water into here to make tea. There should be enough. So what I'm also going to need then, and then keep that back on the heat, right? So in my bug out bag, I think it's down the side here, in the side pocket is another part of the Kelly kettle, which this pouch didn't come with it, I keep it in basically. And in here there's a grill thing for going on the main base if you want to cook a steak or something on there. But the other thing is these chaps here I need. All one-handed, of course. Oh. So these chaps, right? So these go together. Yeah. Like that. And then that sits in the top of the Kelly kettle. Yeah. And then the pot sits on top of that. Right, that's the idea. Let's move that out of the way. Right. God, my back's killing me already because yet again I'm bending over the entire time. It's not good. It's really unhealthy. Hit the like button if you haven't done already as well. It'd be much appreciated. So, should we just do it then? Should we just get it rocking? And I'll need to keep some wood going in so I can keep it going. I think actually we need the long spoon. Yeah, the long spoon out of my water kit. So this is my water kit, and in here I've got a lighter titanium long spoon, which is sort of more what I'm going to need for doing the noodles, right? So that water's full in there, and I've got another 2 litres of water in here as well. But the idea is that I've got my water filtration kit so I can go to the lake, and I've got my electric pump as well with me, so I'm going to be prototyping that. Let me just take the water. This is a digital water tester. Not in that one, in this one. So one of the things I want to test tomorrow is this, which is it's basically a water pump, but I kind of modified it to have a PD, power delivery trigger circuit board in there with USB-C. So this takes my USB-C battery bank. Like this, for example, is one. You see, got the 2. You've got the normal USB-A and you've got your 2 USB-Cs, but they're both PD as well. So this can boost it up to like 15 volts. So this runs at 15 volts. It's supposed to run at 12, but this PD booster circuit that I made for this boosts the pump up to 15 volt and sort of revs its off a bit nicer. I've got all the hose in there and that as well, right? So I'm going to be testing that tomorrow, where it's literally just going to suck the water straight out of the lake through a little filter I've got, and it's going to be filtering it and passing it straight into the filters, the Sawyer filter, straight into the carbon filter, then into my container. So this is the hose that I dunk in the lake, basically, you see, and I've got a marble in there just to weight it down. So that goes on one end of the pump, and then off the other side of the pump goes into wherever I want it, right? Oops. So it's very difficult doing everything with one hand, but I am struggling to succeed, at least. So yeah, that's my water filtration kit bag. So that's what I'm going to be testing tomorrow. That's one of the reasons I'm out here. I've also got my solar panels in there for bushcraft, wild camping solar panels. So I'm going to be trying them out tomorrow as well. How many nights are you spending out there? 2 nights is the idea. Tonight, doing the day tomorrow, getting the pump tested out and the solar panels tested out. I'll stay tomorrow night and then come back Friday is the idea. So you've got from now until then with the super duper deal on the hotspot. Don't forget, we got the Streamlabs going as well. If you want to buy me some biscuits or some new noodles or whatever, that would be much appreciated. And Streamlabs is a great way of doing that. Cut out the middleman. Obviously this channel isn't monetized, but you can do Streamlabs super chats. Links in the description for that as well. Really appreciate all our patrons as well. Thank you so much to each of you for being who you are. So do you think we should take the noodles over to the cooking area instead? Yeah, I think that's probably what we're better off doing. Yeah, in fact I think I'm going to get the cup set up now with the tea ready, and we'll take that over there and I can just pour the water into the tea. Yeah, so I'll use the sugar cubes I think for this, so we'll go 2 tea bags. We'll go about 1, 2, 3. It's got to be 4 in it. What do you reckon? Probably. We can put more in if we need it. Got some little chocolate penguin bars here, look. Chocolate biscuit thingy bobs. And lots of tea. But I haven't got many sugar cubes left, and I always recommend sugar cubes because if you drop them you can just pick them back up and put them back in. But when you have sugar, if you drop that, it's just not a good look. But because I haven't got really any sugar cubes left and can't afford to buy any, I've basically just got a sealable tub with like backup sugar if I need it, is the idea. So that's our tea set up. I might pop some... Oh shit, no, we can't do that, can we? Sorry, we can't do that yet. This is, you see, this is the problem with the Kelly kettle only having to do one thing at a time, because I need to use this to measure out the water, yeah, for the noodles, right? So we're gonna have to deal with that first, I think. Okay, let's just pop it over there. In fact, we already know what we're pouring in there, don't we? So I can do that first, then put the packet in. We need this as well. We'll take the bellows in case I need to blow into the kettle to get it rocking. Yeah, it's just going to be a tricky one to. It's going to be a tricky one to solve with my limited. I just heard some real fucked up noise then. Don't know what that was. Like with my limited resources of, you know, things I can put on the kettle and that, and I can only do it once at a time. And I really don't want to be chopping up much more wood tonight because it's a bit noisy, right? I've got this much, which is probably only maximum 2 fires, to be honest. Let's put the bellows there just in case I need to blow into the side of the hole there. These bellows, you know, you just extend it out, it's like telescopic. Right there. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm not going to bother with, because I've only got one hand, I'm not going to bother with a ferrocerium rod or anything like that. In fact, we don't need my so I thought I heard a car then. No, we're right. Right, I'm going to light this. Yeah. This is my, by the way, my Sigma Wolf with the Forrest laser engraved Zippo lighter. Sigma Prepper lighter, basically. So let's get this. This is just a piece of wax twine, which I find quite convenient as like a little splint. Although I've only got one hand. Usually you'd want to scrape off the wax. Right, let's do it, shall we? Let's get rocking. This is going to light up the forest, this is. I mean, I'm talking about luminance light up, not. Looks like we're going alright in it. We'll save that for next time. We'll pop the kettle on. We need to take this plunger out, this stopper, and put the whistle stopper on. And now that's going, we just take, look at a nice old big spider there, take some of these chunky bits, pop them in there. Could do it being half the size really. So that'll start boiling up the wood, boiling up the water. So what's the plan? The plan is, yeah, we're going to take, when this boils, right, I'm going to pour 300 millilitres into here, right, I'm going to put that in the bowl that's going to have the noodles in it. I need to break this up because it's a bit long, these ones, hold on. Not without my knife, I'm not. Hold on. This is I need to feed a few more bits in there. Could do with finding some decent dry wood branches as well, to be honest, to make it a bit more efficient, because I haven't got that many days worth of wood. But there's loads of dry wood around here, look. But I just don't want it to be too smoky. So I think there's enough to get that boiling. So what we do is get the noodles ready. Right, let's pop you on there. Right, let me just sort this out quickly. I might have to run if the kettle starts to boil and it's the whistling. So here we go then. Got my noodles in there. Try and fit it in. So that's what I'm going to be pouring pouring that water into, and then really we need to be putting it on the on the top of the kelly kettle, right? But before I do that, I need to fill the kelly kettle, my cup back up with water. Got to take you again, hold on. Right. Make sure it doesn't go out. It's looking quite healthy at the moment. So we've got those to put on the top of the kelly kettle, so we can then put this bowl on there to keep it simmering, right? But for the time being, I just need to take 300 mils out of here into there, then fill this back up so I can make tea, and then we'll go from there. And I'll need to remove the whistle stopper so it can just stay nice and warm. I don't think it's going to need to necessarily boil once I've poured it in. Thank you everyone for being with me, I do appreciate it. What's the temperature there? It's not too bad actually, I'm not sure, but it's probably about 17 degrees centigrade. Sorry, I was just reading through the chats. Smash them first, break the noodles 4 ways. Now she's in there alright. They're easy to pick up on the fork then. Yeah, so we just need to pour some water out of there. The fire's dying down, but I don't really want to put much more in there because I can see steam coming out. I should be bang on, look. It is. Perfect. So do you see? There's like all the wood's pretty much burnt. So that was pretty bang on. So it's about in the middle up there. Give me 5 secs where I just got to pour this water in here up to that level. $300 milliliters. I think it's that one. Oh no, that's 400. Got a bit much in there. Right. 300 milliliters. And then I'm going to fill up this cup. Sorry, no one can see what I'm doing, but I'm going to fill up this cup with the rest of the water. Put the kelly back on. And then I'm going to pop these top bits on. I'm sorry that you can't see what I'm doing. I'll show you in a second. Here we go. I've just put these on there. I poured my water in there for the tea, And we've got the pan here. I could do with a spoon as well, so I can stir that around a bit. Right, let's go and sort this out. I will come back for that, just pouring a bit of my tea out. Okay. Right. Right, 5 seconds. Just getting the tea sorted out. I'm worried about the noodles. Just gonna stir that up. Get that brewing and then we'll go back. I'm gonna make sure that's on there nice and. But yeah, it's still hot on there. You can see it's actually still boiling, and there's a bit of water. Now I could pour more water in there, but it would be a waste. I'm not going to put any more. I'm not going to put any more water in there. I'm not going to need anything. I'll just boil it again later on if I want to make another cup of tea. But that's feeling all right. And you can see there's a nice bit of steam coming off the noodles there, so she's all good. How lovely. Get in there. Get in there. Right. Let's leave that there for a bit. There's enough heat coming still off the Kelly kettle to keep that simmering. That's a train, by the way. A big train. Let's pop you in the holder. And we'll sort my tea out while that's brewing. While it's brewing. And then, believe me, once I've got my noodles and all that jazz, I'll be sitting in the chair and we can talk about some stuff while I scoff my face, drink my tea, get some milk in there. Hopefully this milk will stay cold enough. But I'm not sure. I think it's going down to about maybe 15 or something tonight. But tomorrow's going to be about 22, 23 degrees centigrade, wherever that is. So that's quite healthy. And that was the reason I chose to come today, because tomorrow's going to be a really nice sunny day, like 9.5 hours of sun apparently. So I'm testing out a new solar panel system to see if I can charge the battery banks from it. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. I hope one of these tea bags haven't split, because I'll cry my eyes out. Nah, I think we're alright. Let's pop that in my little rubbish bin. Got to be careful with the mic cable. Makeshift rubbish bin. Here we are. It's not really a makeshift one, it's a proper one. It's a professional, that's a professional rubbish bin, that is. That's like no expense spared. Yeah. No fake rubbish bins in here. Garbage bin, I guess you'd call it in America. So shall we see how our noodles are getting on? I need to take my first sip of tea first, And ideally it'd be nice to say cheers. Oop. I'll be using this to eat my noodles with. Let's put my little sippy heat protector thing. These come with the cups from Kelly Kettle. Cheers everyone. Cheers. Oh man, that is so absolutely amazingly yummy, it's not even funny. Right, let's go and sort out what's going on with my noodles. I think they're going to be alright. I feel like they're still cooking. There's still heat coming up from the Kelly Kettle. I haven't put any more fuel in there or any to be honest, I could put the flavouring in there now and it would still be cooking in its own heat, but I'm tempted to have a little. Yeah, that's alright, there's plenty of heat coming up there still. There's some embers in the bottom, right? So far so good. Please give the video a like if you're just joined us and you haven't hit the like button yet. Oh dear, I'll tell you what, the last like 2.5 weeks I've been, for those that, I'm sure everyone who's live with me now already knows, but I've been writing the Ultimate Prepping guidebook for some time, and for the last about 2.5 weeks it's been a real slog of a chapter, Mental Mastery, which talks about, you know, fear and decision making under stress and freeze, flight, fawn and flow, survival instincts. And it's quite funny because earlier on when I was finished setting up the camp and I sat down on my little chair and it was already sort of started to get dark and there was all sorts of sounds going on around the woods, and it was like, oh, you know, you're like left and right and you're on high alert and all the rest of it. And it's kind of nice to feel those feelings of anxiety or, you know, slight elements of caution and things where you've got all the different sounds and the badgers coming in and out their holes, and, you know, there's a big old couple of branches above me which look like they could be fallers, right? There's some pretty dry looking wood, so there was a fallen branch near my spot where I camped when I arrived, which was a little bit concerning, but the wind's died right down now. Widowmakers, they're called widowmakers for a reason, right? So they're coming on quite well actually. There's still a bit of water in there, but I don't feel like I need to do anything with that fire. Yeah, they're still glowing down there, so I think we'll just give that a minute. In fact, I might put the sauce stuff in there now and stir it about while it's still on the heat. I've decided that's what we're going to do, and then I can eat my noodles. So, oh, he's left me with us, is she? What an absolute babe. Hello, my darling. She's here listening. You should smash them first to break. Oh, okay, yeah, you're talking about to increase the surface area and stuff, Robert, yeah. I just got to pop you down because I need to put my sachet of flavouring in. Chicken flavour. Subject to how convincing the chicken is. Sorry, I'm just mixing the flavouring into the noodles, but I'm having to use two hands and hold the bowl because I don't want it to be falling over. Yeah, so there was loads of fishermen around earlier, and the guy, he's a right moany guy when you walk through the pathway, because over the other side is like private land for a fishing club. And even walking the dog through there, it gets all shitty, but we made friends with him earlier today. So that was nice. He doesn't know I'm camping here, but it's not his land anyway, so. This is in between two bits of farmland where I am, and about 2 years ago I was coming round here and I saw a guy in a combine harvester and asked him if he minded if I came here. He said no, not a problem. So where I am here is all right. He said as long as I don't have any loud parties or have anyone else. And I'm like, no, just me on my own. Just like I do a channel doing, you know, bushcraft skills and camping and all that kind of stuff. He's like, yeah. So that's cool. But the guys who have the lake over the other side are really, yeah, really moody. But not anymore. Hugo helped us make friends with him. Right, so we're virtually good to go, aren't we? Another little sip of tea. Yummy. And then, yeah. Do you know what? I think I'm gonna go and get my noodles now. I think they're all right. I don't even think I'm gonna need a thing on that. No, I'm not. That's fine. Yep. Come back for that. Right. Oh, how very exciting. Right, 5 seconds. And I'll get my tripod set up and we can sit here and you can watch me scoff my face with noodles. How's that? Okay, how's that going to work? First of all, I have to turn the camera around like that. Hello. And then if I turn this one on, oh, what is it doing? That'll do. Turn that one off. Check it out. Hello, my darlings. That's better. Oh. So it's only the people who are only the committed ones who made it this far get to see me. Right, here we are. I'm just making sure you're all secure in the man. Let me know how she's looking. I've got the light quite low, like I say, because I can probably go up to there, but that's about it. But it's already well blatant. Let me know if you can even see that. Maybe it's brighter than I thought. Hold on. That's all right. Right. I got my noodles with nothing else in them. Oh, they're perfect, yummy. I might even use this spoon. Spoon it is. So welcome everybody. Eating noodles with Sigma Prepper in the middle of the woods. That's how we roll. With a cup of tea. Made off the Kelly kettle. Made live on the Kelly kettle as well, nonetheless, yeah. No one likes teeth clunking with spoons, I do apologise. They're still actually quite warm. I wouldn't say they're hot anymore. But there's a bit of a breeze coming through here. So, but I've got my fleece on, but you'll see I've got my proper bushcraft hoodie fleece. I don't know if it's necessarily cold enough for that, but it's more because I've got a black sleeveless shirt underneath that, and I was getting all sorts of stuff crawling up my arms. It's nice to have some noodles though, I tell you. I did have some toast earlier today, so I did do a TikTok video as well earlier on the way here, right? So go and support that if you're a TikToker. I'm trying to grow the audience on TikTok as well. I've started a new challenge doing daily TikTok videos. One video every day. So far, 3 days in a row, I've kept to my challenge. The one yesterday was like nearly 10 minutes long. But the one today, I just shot a quick video of me on the way to the location with my last bag, because I had to do 2 trips to get here. Because I've got a media bag, like when I'm doing the filming and stuff, I've got another bag that I have to bring, and it's like tripods and stuff, and this chair I wouldn't normally have, so I can do this with the tripod you're on. I've got a proper studio light as well that I bring. So I've got like a duffel bag thing. It's got wheels and a carry handle duffel bag, but I can't be doing that down a gravel track. So so I have my main bug out bag, and then my curly kettle, and then my water filtration kit in my other hand. That's how I walk, and that's everything that I need. But I have my media backpack, which has got things like my iPad and the lights and battery banks and stuff, right? And then a big duffel bag, which has got some spare wood in there, you know, clean wood. I've got my netting, camo netting as well to do the stealth camp, but I didn't get here till about 25 minutes before sunset is when I arrived on location. So not a good look. But it's good to be challenged like that, and you know, be forced to have to set up in less than ideal conditions. It's about how you respond when things don't go to plan. That's the important thing. And so getting here an hour and a half, 2 hours later than I'd planned to, and it wasn't even anything to do with what time I left. It was our path being blocked, if you know what I mean. Getting here. So I had to, me and Magic Hand walked Hugo round a different way, killed some time, then moved in. Yummy. It's very satisfying. Noodles on a campfire. No, I don't really worry about bugs in my hair. I've got a what do you call it, hat thing. It's more like a handkerchief wrap round, but it's already in one piece, and it's camo. And Magic Hand really doesn't like it when I wear it. But I'm not that bothered about bugs and stuff, to be honest. My hammock obviously has got it's the DD Tarps XL hammock in camo, and it's got the bug net all over it, totally zipped in. So yeah, there's nothing getting in there. So when I'm in there and I'm asleep, it's all good. Yummy. I do apologise that everyone's had to hear me eat. Is it really nasty? Making daily survival hungry. Okie dokie, right. To be honest, I could do with rinsing that out a little bit now. I'll tell you what, let's do that now. After a sip of tea. Something just landed in the woods over there, a branch probably. Yeah, it's much easier to clean it when it's still moist. Oh dear. In some places the word moist is banned. Yeah. I'm attached to you. I'm attached to you by this microphone, so I can't go anywhere. Well, I probably can. Give me 5 seconds. I've got to get my head torch on. I'm not going to take you with me because I've just got you all set up on the tripod, so I'm just going to run over there quickly and run back. If this channel was monetized, I would cut to a commercial break. This is my O-light. There's an 18650 in here. This is the most beautiful head torch I've ever owned in my entire life, and it's the only one I ever need to own. Yeah, look, daily survival. All snowflakes are moist. Moist. Yeah, I'm saying it right. Right, I'm just going to clip the mic down here quickly. 5 seconds, hold on. I just got to go and sort this out. Otherwise it's going to be an annoyance. Back. Hello everybody, if there's even anyone left. Right, so I just had to give it a quick rinse because it's not the most convenient. Right, hold on. So a couple of wet wipes. No, I'm not calling anyone a wet wipe. Little wet wipe is an alternative version of washing up. Ugh. But first of all, you need to get the crap off the bottom. So, sorry, it's so unprepared. What is it, unprepared? It's just super low budget, I suppose, isn't it? I guess when I get a staff of 700 people, and that's just the film crew, yeah, we'll be cooking on gas lich. Look at that, spick and span. Sorry, I'm just spick and spanning the pan. Spick and spanning the pan. And then it's basically ready to go again, right? Right. Here we go. He's back. Right, let's get rid of that. That is the most spick and span pan you can ever dream of. Now what I want to do is to have one of Daily Survival's biscuits she sent me. These are custard creams. In my tea that I made ages ago. Oh, hold on a minute, I could do with having my... Sorry, I didn't put my microphone back in the right place. I don't feel like I need to repeat all that over again. I'm sure you heard enough of it. Excuse the rustling of packages of biscuits. Custard cream. Cheers, everybody. And thank you, Daily Survival, for my birthday biscuits. Dunking in tea, made with a curry kettle, with freshly chopped wood, Yummy. Oh, Della in the house. Hello, my darling. Just checking out the chat. I've been messing around, washing up. I've been doing a washing up, Della. Yeah, there's loads of spiders around here at this time. You should sell survival biscuits. It's a good idea, Chrissy. Could have all sorts of included nutrients and vitamins and protein and stuff added in. Yeah, survival biscuits. Do you know, I'm so used to only eating half a biscuit every time. Because Hugo Bear usually gets the other half after I've dunked it. So yeah, I'm glad I came online, even though it's real tight. Because I was so late getting here. Oh, I'm starting to feel like I've been fed and watered. Yummy. So I'm not sure what I'm going to run out of first. I think it's going to be food. Because obviously I didn't realise that the I'm going to roll myself a cheeky cigarette, by the way. I do apologise. I don't condone smoking. It's a very bad habit. I have been considering giving up smoking, actually. Now I'm nearly 75 years old. I kind of feel like it's time, you know, to start looking at the possibility thinking about the possibility of maybe looking at the possibility of giving up. That's the idea. Have given up a couple of times. Gave up for a couple of months before the Amazing Race TV show, when me and Magic Ham were on that. It's funny, I was talking to her about that today, because it was it was like it was contraband in the contract for the Amazing Race, right? I can't talk too much about the contract because it's all supposed to be secret, right? But basically, like, smoking's a contraband and you're not allowed to smoke. So Magic Hand and I, when it said, "Are you smokers?" we said no, right? And we were. So we thought, fuck. Because we thought it meant that if you were a smoker, you weren't allowed, you couldn't be on the show. Yeah, you weren't allowed to be on the Amazing Race if you were a smoker. But that wasn't what it was. It was just the fact that you're not allowed to smoke during filming. It's like, well, yeah, obviously. But we didn't realise that, so we just gave up, thinking, shit, we've got to give up quick smart, because we said we didn't smoke. So yeah, basically what happened was we went and we gave up smoking for about 2 months. And you know what? The first cigarette I had was actually during the Amazing Race, not during filming, but it was when I got pulled over for speeding in New Zealand. Yeah. And I think it kind of, I think it did our camera crew was a guy called Jade or something like that. Can't remember his name. But he was in the car with us when we got pulled over by the cops for speeding, and I got banned from driving in New Zealand within like just a couple of hours of landing there, yeah. And he lit up a cigarette. He said, "Do you mind if I smoke?" I said, "Only if you let me have one." And that was it. Magic Hand and I, when I had our first cigarette then, driving through New Zealand, and I hadn't had a cigarette for like 2 months. And then you find out that everyone else smokes anyway, and it's like, oh, what? But you weren't allowed to smoke during the show, during the filming or anything. You don't smoke, your cigarettes do. Yeah, you're absolutely right there. Well, And I smoke roll up tobacco. It's much cheaper, which is far more popular in the UK. I don't think it's quite the same thing in the States. And I was just about to say, and it's a bit more healthy because I use filters, but my filters are over there, and there's no getting around it. I'm gonna have to clip you up again. Hold on. Give me 5 seconds. Oh. Where are we? Okie dokie. Let's have a look. I'll get that clipped back on there. I hope it sounds okay in terms of sound quality and stuff. It's not too loud. I'm worried about when I'm looking down because it's right next to the microphone. It'll be illegal, so I'll wait for then. Yeah, it is. They're making it as illegal as possible in the UK. They've already changed it now so that every year the minimum age to smoke goes up by a year. Meaning anyone younger than 14, I think it is, or 15 now, will never be old enough to smoke. I mean, how does that even work? So what are they saying? That you have to basically, like, all the shopkeepers need to know each year what's the minimum age that someone needs to be to be able to buy tobacco. Yeah. Let me know if there's anyone else doing anything like that in any other country, but I don't think so. Yeah. An old joke. Do you smoke after Shabots? I don't know. I never looked. Ah, I get you. I get you. You see, some men would say, "Oh, I'll tell you what, you'll be smoking when I'm done with your love." Some men would say, not I would say, some men would say. But the funny thing is that I just don't think that would work, really. I don't think that's what they would find enjoyable, so I don't think that's something you should boast about. Yeah, that doesn't sound comfortable if you're left smoking afterwards, because smoking means burning, doesn't it? And who wants to be burning down there? I'm feeling somewhat organised, actually. Now I've eaten noodles and I've cleaned and I've washed the pan up, so I'm ready to have my oats or rice pudding in the morning. I don't know what I have. I suppose I could actually have my beans and sausage, tin of beans and sausage heated up in the morning. Right. Oh, at long last. Free at last, yeah. Let's have a look and see what the weather's doing tomorrow, for a start. It'd probably help if I turn my data on. Luckily my data's still working on my iPad, but my main phone, not so much. So yeah, 9.1 hours of sunshine. It's actually 15 degrees centigrade right now. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. So Thursday is completely sunny, no clouds at all day. It's going to be a high of 23 degrees and a low of 15, the same as tonight. Tonight says 14, which I think is a pretty perfect temperature. 30 mile an hour winds today, so it's a little bit windy, like I say, a bit worried about the widow makers on these trees around here. Yeah, so I'm hoping I can test out the solar panel tomorrow. That was the idea, to have enough sun. I'll need to charge stuff up tonight using the battery bank, the big USB battery banks, right? So I'll charge those up from the solar panel. So the new system I've got is a little charge controller that does USB. It's real nice and lightweight, and I've got the two new panels. That was one of the things I talked about on the TikTok video I did yesterday. It was about 9 minutes long, just showing what my e-harvesting kit that I take in my bushcraft bag looks like, along with the solar panels that I've brought today. So they're two 20-watt solar panels, making it 40 watt, right? Assuming you've got direct, perfect sunlight, which is not barely ever the case, yeah. But I should pull about 15 watts charging out of that twice. Like it should let me pull 2 lots of charging out of it, so I can charge 2 battery banks, and then I can charge everything else from the battery banks. As long as I can keep those 2 or 3 battery banks on rotation with the solar panels, the idea is I'd have perpetual power, which again, I need that for my water pump filter that I'll be testing again tomorrow. But my concern is those dudes down at the lake, man. They seem really, really cliquey, yeah. Like if I go down there tomorrow with my little wall kit and like go shoving a small silicone hose in the pond, in the lake, it's like going whoosh and sucking water out of the lake through my filter. I've just got a feeling the dudes down there are going to be like, oh, this is private land. Which it is and it isn't. I mean, they lease it and it's like membership for fishing. It's not like I'm going there to fish, so it's not like, you know, I'm stealing your fish. So we'll have to see. So weather's going to be good tomorrow, which is nice. I thought I had a thing here. Where's that gone? There it is. So let's just spank the brightness of that up a little bit. So that's the weather for tomorrow. Look, it doesn't look like it's changed since this screenshot yesterday. So yeah, it's looking all right. Thursday, Wednesday, yeah, 14 degrees. So 23 is quite a nice temperature. That would be like, you know, sleeveless shirt kind of a thing going on. Do you know, when a train goes along the train line, there's no way they can't see me sitting here. I'm sure they don't care, but well, with this light in my face, lighting up my camp as well behind me, which you can't necessarily see, but so the disasters we had today were only having half an hour to set up the entire camp before sunset, having no security at all, because my PIR, I've got my PIRs on the receiver. I've shown that before in a video. So I strap them on a tree, just like, you know, 10 yards away, 30 foot away or so. One that way, with a little receiver that sits in my camp up here, and then if it gets triggered, it makes a different noise, whether it's that side or that side, and I know where someone's coming from. I've got all that with me, but the little box that has the AAA batteries and the AA batteries, I think they're still sitting on my desk in the office right now in the studio. So no security tonight, and there's loads of stuff going on around here. There's at least 3 new Badger set holes. Yeah. 70, thank you Daily Survival. 23 centigrade tomorrow it will be, which is 73 Fahrenheit. What do you think, Daily Survival? Do you think that's a comfortable temperature? And 15 degrees, which is what it will be tonight. A bit lower than that, 14, 15 is about 57, 59 degrees Fahrenheit. Hello, Tonnet, my darling. I hope everything is well with you. So no rain or anything, which is the main thing. No rain forecast. I really don't like camping in the rain, primarily because I really don't like packing up in the rain when it's all wet. And usually I'll have a chamois. It's quite good to have a chamois cloth in your bag. So if your tarp does get wet and it's not dry yet, in the morning I'll go over it with a chamois cloth and take the main water off it, just leaving the very, very tiny little smeary bubbles all over it, and then literally within an hour, just the wind blowing over that, it's completely dry. But I don't even have my chamois cloth with me this time. That's how confident I am that it's not going to rain. I don't think I like that pocket for my lighter, I've decided. There's a little pocket in the side arm of the chair here. I think that's the new home for my lighter now. I'm sitting down, making sure all my zips are done up. We're all looking good. So does the lighting all look alright, does it? Battery level's not too bad, which is good. And that is perfect camping weather, isn't it just? Isn't it just? Do you know what? Because you don't actually want it to be too hot when you're camping, especially at night, in the hammock even. I haven't got my under blanket with me, but when it's hot and sweaty, no one wants to be even on top of a sleeping bag, right? So, yeah, it should be pretty good. It needs to be a little bit chilly so you can snuggle up, and my sleeping bag's good down to about 5 degrees comfort level, so 5 degrees centigrade versus 15 is what it calls comfort. It can go down to 0, but 5, and that's based on, by the way, for those that don't know, when it comes to sleeping bags, when they talk about what temperature is comfort level, it's for a female, not for a male. Females feel cold more than men, so basically what's comfortable for a woman will be slightly warmer for a man, just so you know. So when mine says comfort level 5, whatever use 0, it's probably about right for what temperature we got now. I've also got my air mat, my blow-up air mattress underneath in the hammock now, which I didn't have before. I have had it before, but not the last time I did it. I'm hoping it will stop my sleeping bag slipping about inside. I've got one of those little grippy mats as well. Tomorrow when it's light, obviously it's daytime, I'll probably do a quick video on TikTok or something, and maybe a YouTube short as well I'll do, just showing my inside the hammock sleeping arrangement, because I've got like a grip kind of like a mat. Do you know those spongy kind of like waffle grip mats you put in the boot of a car? So I've got a piece of that at the bottom of my hammock, and then I've got my air mat on top of that, yeah, blown up, and then I've got the my sleeping bag on top of that. Then I've got two blow-up pillows, right? One for my head, and potentially one for sometimes on my side I'll sleep with like a pillow in between my knees, in the fetal position, in a hammock. Oh. It's really comfy actually, my XL hammock, I really love it, the DD Tarps XL range. In the camo colour as well, which is about 20% more price. But they're quite cheap now. I think the last time I looked it was about £60–70 for my hammock on Amazon. Let me know if I'm lying about that. I'm sure it's only about £60. So what are you up to, Tonette? Are you all good in the hood? I was thinking about just reading to see what people are going on about daily survival. 70 Fahrenheit swimming temperature. Parents said it was to be 70 out before we could go swimming. Oh, I see. Like it. Swimming temperature. Good one. I can see that. Please hit the like button if you haven't done already. How long have we been going anyway? 79 minutes. An hour and 20. So let's have a look. Let's have a look-see. Checking out And don't forget as well, got the wild pricing going on while I'm camping wild for the next 2 days. So the hotspot, instead of being $269 for the next day and a half or 2 days, whatever it is, it's got a super wild price linked in description. 199 buckaroonies. There's only 2 available at that price. So if you were thinking about getting a survival hotspot offline emergency internet job, then that's definitely what you want to be doing. Now's the time. I don't think it's ever going to be that price again. So it's kind of in line with the ebook that I'm writing. That's going to be launching quite soon. So I decided one of the things that I'll do is, as I'm going to launch a new product, I'll do a mass promotion on the existing products, and then when I'm doing a wild camp, we can have wild camp pricing, right? Wild discounts. So here's the thing, the ultimate prepping guide. So that's the thing I've been working on. But the latest section, yeah, this is slightly updated. This is the inside front cover. Yeah. When shit hits the fan, don't end up round a campfire eating squirrels on sticks. You know how it is. Oh dear. Oh, got the Patreon VIP members in there, but of course these Patreon members aren't even there anymore. There's only a couple left, so thank you to those that are clinging on with me. I'm going to be doing super regular videos now and lots of behind the scenes stuff. One of them being me writing a couple of pages of the ebook, and I'll take you with me live, not live, but I'll be doing that as a Patreon VIP video to get back into that. So if anyone's looking at supporting me with Patreon, then one of the great things about that is with this guide, anyone in the elite level and above, the pack level and above, sorry, gets it free. So whoever's a VIP patron is going to won't have to be paying for it, basically. So yeah, that's the plan. It's been a long, it's 300 pages big, so I'm literally on the last 2 chapters now. I've got Surviving World War III to finish and the fundamental fact sheets, and that's about it. So literally within the next 4 weeks, I'd say maximum, we're going to be launching with the new Ultimate Prepping Guide here on the Sigma Prepper channel. So I'll be doing a live review of that. I might do a couple of chapter readings. I might do one tomorrow night, and maybe we'll look at the mental mastery, which is in fact is the first chapter in part 2 of the book. It kind of looks like that, and so it talks about the different, survival instincts and stuff: freeze, fight, flight, fawn and flow and all that, right? So it breaks all that down. Oh, keep going the wrong way. And then breaks down the benefits and the drawbacks of each survival response and stuff, right? So this is the chapter I finished last week, well, about 2 days ago. So there's quite a lot going on in there, and I've done this is how to optimize yourself, so you can choose each one of these. And then I've got a lot about the OODA loop there, and the Eisenhower matrix, which I did a show about as well last year, I think, mentioned that. So there's quite a lot going on there. So that's the mental mastery chapter, and then there's a quote there. So basically that's kind of how she looks for that chapter, but it talks about quite a few bits and pieces with the sort of flight responses and things like that. Toinette there, trying to catch out what you're saying. Thank you so much, Daily Survival, moderator of all moderators, keeping the links flying. Oh, darling Toinette, she lost her brother last month. part of life, right? The weather has been a real roller coaster, quite hot and then reasonable. So sorry to hear that. That's awful, isn't it, losing a sibling? I lost several friends in the last 2 years, 2 of my best friends in 2 years. It was pretty tough. I can't say I've ever lost a sibling, so yeah, love to you, my darling Tonette. Sending some condolences vibes out to you. No, I think that's long gone. Oh, I've still got some tea left. Yummy. Ooh. Just catching up with a chat. Most of the streams in my area are spring fed and extremely cold, says Robert. Are we talking about freshwater springs? Wow. So is he a Vietnam vet, Tonette? Yeah, your brother? Concerned about not being able to be there if it worked out. Yeah, that's super tough, my darling. Might have to roll a cigarette for that one. Didn't feel like I even smoked the last one. It's been a stressful day, what can I tell you? Oh dear. Has it been a stressful day? Not really. I would have liked to have got the camo netting on the base camp. Just listening out in the woods. Something going on out there. I'd like to have got the camo netting on. It's in the bag. That was one of the extra bags I brought. The camo netting's quite large. It's a roll about that by about that. Yeah. And if it's condensed right down, there's 2 of them to fit over my tarp, because my tarp's a 4 metre by 4 metre, not a 3 metre by 3 metre, right? There's a train going by. So, yeah, it takes a bit of time to put on, and it's a bit of an arsehole, because I have to tie it all together, but it basically comes in 2 halves to fit mine. So I basically bought 2 metre by 2 metre, I think it was, lengths or pieces of camo netting, 2 metre by 2 metre. So I've got them tied together, and it covers the 4 metre by 4 metre entire tarp, with a bit to spare, so it goes right down to the ground, which is nice. And I basically tie it to the tarp with I've got some pre-cut bits of paracord, and I just go around with there's about maybe 20 pieces about that long of paracord, just I can tie it all together, and it attaches it to the tarp basically. But I'll tell you what, coming here slightly later in the season, I'm surprised at how there's a bit of a lack of foliage, so I don't feel like I've got much stealthy cover. So I really would like to have got my camo netting up on top of my tarp is already camo tarp, so it's already pretty stealthy, but it really does finish it off when you have the camo netting on there as well. It all looks nice, and it might even be, this time of year, see, it might even be too green. It might even be too bright green, but it will still be more blendy in than this is. And it also, this light here that's lighting up the back of the inside of the tarp is way less obvious when you've got the camo netting on top. So I might throw that on tomorrow if I'm in the mood when I wake up, before I make my cup of tea, or after I've made my first cup of tea and then figured out what's the order of events and stuff. 2 back-to-back tours of Vietnam, says to it. I bet he knew some stuff. It affected him emotionally and physically. Son number 2 has PTSD from Iraq and Afghanistan. Oh no. This is exactly it, isn't it? I mean, what are they even thinking about today? You know, with all the destruction and stuff that's happened with all the wars in previous years, we've had World War One, Two, Vietnam, we've had Afghanistan, Iraq, we've had so many examples of why it's just not a good idea to do the whole war thing, right? As they say, war is the first admission of failure. It's so sad. And you just, I don't know, just each generation, I don't know about anyone else, but me personally, I feel like each generation you feel like surely the last generation, when you grow up having seen all the destruction, why would anyone think it's a good idea? It should almost be outdated by now, going to war. Especially with the kind of stuff you're talking about there. It's the destruction that goes on with people, the PTSD years and years after, right? And the lost family members, and it's just nasty. Oh dear, looking at, what is it, 4 minutes past midnight here in the UK, which is not too severe. I'll probably get to bed for about 1. And then see what sort of night's sleep I have if any branches fall on my head. I'm sure we'll be fine. Like I say, there's no major wind. There's no major wind forecast around here. I'll tell you what, if the wind's in the wrong direction, it's actually really inconvenient because of the way I have my tarp here. It like balloons it, like makes like a parachute out of it. But I've got all 5 pegs down at the back with bungee cords as well to give it a little bit of flex. And it gives it a little bit more height off the ground as well using the bungees. And they're super lightweight bungees. I say that because there was somebody on a comment section of one of my bushcraft videos showing my lightweight Dyneema super thin ridge line and, you know, my Dyneema whoopee sling, which is super lightweight as well. And a dude in the comments was like, "Oi, Sigma Prepper, why does it, you know, how does it make any sense that you have the super lightweight stuff, but yet you have like the bungee balls?" But I don't think whoever it was realises how light they are and how nothing it is versus the utility of them. So yeah, bungee balls, elasticated, big fan, rather than using, you know, just peg straight into the ground on the, you know, on the corner bands of the tarp, right? And because it's a 4 metre by 4 metre, it has 5 mounting points on each side, right, to peg the tarp down. So I've got all 5 going there with bungees, and obviously at the front it goes out with like a porch with a pitch roof. So I've got guy ropes going down there. But I'll give you a full tour tomorrow when it's daylight, obviously, so you can see how it's set up. Can you hear the train in the background, by the way? Can you hear that? Let me know in the chat if you can hear the train. I'll tell you what, I need sweets. I need sweets is what I need. What have I got? I've got some jelly babies. Might have to get some jelly babies in the mix. And the Middle East, yeah. Yeah, Robert McNamara knew some people in Vietnam War as well. God, it seems so long ago, but I suppose it isn't, is it really? Well, it isn't. Right, I'm just going to hook the microphone up on the tripod there quickly while I just go and get my jelly babies. Got some nice chocolate chip cookies as well over there. So they might be quite nice. Let's get the microphone put back on. I trust this sounds alright. That should be good. I'm glad I don't have to use the extension. I've got like an iPhone iOS extension, lightning extension, in case I need to go longer with the microphone cord, but looks like we're all right. What am I looking for? Oh yes, my sweetie bag. It's not really a sweetie bag, but... So I'm glad to have had some company while I'm just messing around having my dinner and my tea tonight after getting here. So disappointed in my, I'll tell you the other fail. I was listing my fails so far, wasn't I? So not having my AAA and AA battery little box to power my PIR motion sensors, so I've got no early warning system. Might have a couple of fig rolls as well. That's one thing. The other thing is not getting here early enough to be able to get the camo netting done up on the top of my camo tarp. Only because I just feel real self-conscious here at the moment because it's quite exposed. The foliage doesn't seem as much as it used to be. Yeah, I remember it being much thicker with like forestry. I think there's already quite a few leaves on the floor. I mean, the first 10 minutes or 5 minutes getting here was like clearing all my spot with all the leaves and things there that have fallen. So Robert McNamara, are these the things you're talking about? Are these the same in America? Let me know if you're a fan or not. There's only about $1, something like that. What's the empty beer cans, Robert? You mean hanging from trees and shit when people bump into them or what? Let me know what I don't know about that. I haven't heard about the bare beer can. Big Newton's nice. Empty beer cans for your security system. No, Robert, I just need my AA and AAA batteries that are sitting on my desk somewhere. That's what I need, Robert. And then I'll have my digital solution. The whole point of what Signal Prepper's about is, you know, having force multipliers using technology and techniques and, you know, strategy, the strategic approach to preparedness, quote unquote, right? That's the whole point. And so just using things like that to leverage that are cheap, portable, mobile, wireless, easy to use, bosh bosh, strapped to a tree, job done. Just to give you that added little bit of reassurance and stuff. You know, even if it's just some false sense of security, can help people when they're solo wild camping, right? Because wild camping is one thing, but when you're solo wild camping, it's quite a different thing. So you feel like you need these things just to make A, things a bit easier, B, a bit more comfortable, and C, have a little bit more confidence in the fact that you're not going to get axe murdered while you're sleeping. Or at least if you are, you've got the option to defend yourself if you wake up in time. Not sure, I never know whether I should do portrait or landscape videos for live from my phone. I have figured out how I can do it the other way, but I need to coordinate it with the thumbnail. Urban harvesting in the house. Great to see you, man. I'm in the woods, obviously. Scoff in my face. I would have saved you some noodles, Urban Harvesting, if I knew you would kind of come along and visit. You missed the Kelly kettle fire. I hope everything's going according to plan so far, Urban Harvesting. It was great to catch up with you last week. I already feel like we're overdue another catch up, Urban. Keen to hear how your schedule's going, so I know it was tight. Almost impossibly tight, but I've come to know your abilities to do the impossible, Urban. That's why I love you. Gotta get it crammed in, dude. I'm just scoffing my face here with jelly babies now. And they're not even real jelly babies, they're rip-off ones. Yeah. But they're the kind of perfect type of sweetness. Like a fruity sweetness is nice. It's like a sorbet. And then I think I might finish off with a penguin. I'm just going to spend the entire time. Who is it? Is it Brad Pitt? Brad Pitt on Ocean's 11, is it? Is that a thing? Isn't that a thing where like nearly every scene Brad Pitt's eating in Ocean's 11? Let me know if I'm wrong about that. Is it Ocean's 11? Sandy will probably know. She doesn't. Christina G probably will. Urban. Sorry, what am I talking about? Daily survival. If someone leaves a super chat or stream live donation, will we see it? I'll see it and I'll be able to call it out. Whether you see it, if you do Streamlabs, it will be logged so that when I do a live from the studio, it will be there as that donation forever, right? This is Robert McNamara here, I made the big move 34 years ago from the city life in Connecticut, 1,200 miles away, to Missouri for the country life. Yeah, Urban Harvesting is doing a similar thing, just grabbing a plot of land and just seeing what we can do with it, man. I think it's great, what an adventure. Magic Hand I talked about doing that for years and years, like a proper homestead, you know what I mean? And I just don't think UK is the country we'd want to do it in. It's because if you're going to be doing an ultimate homestead, really, you want to be thinking about climate as well. So you've got a minimal need for energy, minimal need for AC, air conditioning, or heating. Do you know what I mean? You want some location that's like super mild, so that I'm talking about location in the world, right? I mean, if you're living in America, you've got options because you've got the whole belt up and down, right? The options for what climate you're in. But it just makes sense to be in a country or a climate where you don't need energy for heating or cooling. It's just a nice temperature throughout the year. Those places do exist, and just if you're going to have a homestead, you might as well choose strategically. You know, as well as it being away from any military bases, away from any, you know, nuclear power stations or any military targets or anything like that, right? Make sure it's above a certain elevation to be safe from tsunamis and floods or whatever, right? But once you've got all those boxes ticked, you've still got, you know, you might as well be choosing climate as well, right? And be somewhere where you've got good sun, so you've got solar panels and off-grid solar as an option. Because again, the UK is just a joke for that. You know, winter time, you're lucky to get 4 hours of daylight, right? And even then, the sun just scoots along the horizon. I've got 1,200 watt of solar panels on my studio roof, my off-grid system, and that's barely enough to keep up with itself, even at 35, 40 watt maximum constant draw that comes off that battery bank from things like the Wi-Fi router and the desk lights and some other things that are always on. The CCTV camera system runs off the off-grid energy as well in case there's a power cut, right? But it's about 40 watt total that runs off that all through the night, all during the day, all through the night, all during the day. And of course, you know, in the winter time, by the time the sun comes up, that battery bank has been running that 40 watt for, you know, 20 hours, right? And now it's got 4 hours to put back in the battery bank what it took out over 20 with no sun, right? And cloudy and like, oh. So don't underestimate or overestimate what you can get out of an off-grid solar power system in certain countries. New Zealand's better than the UK for sunlight, and sorry, not New Zealand. Canada's actually better than the UK for total hours of sunlight and for solar efficiency. So just like stuff to consider like that, right? Because you might as well. So the thing is, because I'm going to be testing a solar panel system now myself that I've put together for my bushcraft camp. I hope you hit the like button, by the way, Urban Harvesting. It'd be super rude if you hadn't. I may even go as far as having to cry. And when no one wants to see a survivalist, prepper, solo camper crying, right? That's just not a good look, is it? So I've got this 40 watt solar panels, which I'll be doing a test tomorrow and seeing if I can charge the USB battery bank from it with the sun. Now it's going to be a good test because it's a completely sunny day tomorrow. That's why I'm here in the time that I am. I'm right in the middle of writing this book, obviously. I've got the World War III, surviving World War III chapter still working through, so, but I just had to get this camp done, and I've got the book on my iPad now in its 90% finished form, so I'm going to be doing some proofreading and rereading through routes and stuff in my hammock, so I thought that would be nice, you know. I could do maybe a chapter reading from a live show tomorrow night or something. We'll look at one of the chapters and I'll read some of it to you and you can tell me what you think. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. It's sometimes nice to take a time out. I've just finished that mental mastery chapter that I showed you a sneak peek of, and that took a lot out of me because it's like 2.5 weeks in like for 25 pages I think it was or something. But anyway, so that's finished now. So now I'm moving on to one of the last chapters, which is Surviving World War III, and it's a real chunky chapter because it covers so much stuff, right? It's talking about DEFCON, it's talking about 4th and 5th dimensional warfare, tactics and what they are and what to look out for, some of the early warning signs of conflict kicking off, a whole bunch of stuff to do with conscription, a whole bunch of stuff to do with radiation and what thickness of what material can mitigate radioactive things. There's a whole load about biological warfare, right? Cyber warfare. Believe me, like Surviving World War III is a bigger chapter than you would like to think, right? There's a lot of things involved in it, and you know me, I like things to be super comprehensive, super thorough, super thought through. So I've built all the framework and a lot of it is already written. It's just, it is going to be a chunk to put together, and it's one of the last chapters, which is the worst way around to do it, right? When you're writing a book, it's the same as that famous, who is it? I don't know if it was Einstein, was it? Who said, if your job is to eat a frog, it might even be Mark Twain. If your job is to eat a frog, do it in the morning. If your job is to eat 2 frogs, eat the biggest first, right? It's a common quote in business as well, right? In terms of how you should tackle tasks. In fact, that would be a good quote to shove in there in the middle of the mental mastery one, because there's a whole section there about decision making, which is where the OODA loop, the military OODA loop comes in, which is the observe, orient, decide and act, yeah, and then there's the Eisenhower matrix. So in that chapter that covers that, it makes sense to have that quote about the frog, do it in the morning. If your job is to eat 2 frogs, eat the biggest first. my point being is that the World War III chapter should have been the one that I started with, and then left the easy ones till last, right? Ah, dear. So hot and dry, Robert, has been a bore and a power on site. Okay, she's talking about the land they got. Biggest thing we must secure first is water. Yeah. Fortunately, on the land that he's got, though, I'm sure he won't mind me telling you, you've at least got those massive water tanks, Urban, which I was super pleased to hear about. So it's just about getting them filled up in it, as long as you can get that sorted out. But then again, I mean, you should talk to Lasme, because she's got those same water tanks that I think you've probably got in that land, right? The homesteading big ones, right? How many did you say? 1,000 litres was it, or 500? Sorry, 5,000 litres. I think you said it was each of them, and there's 2 of them, or it's 10,000 litres, and there's 2 of them. But either way, Lasme's got similar things. I think you'll find you need to have them tested internally to make sure they're still safe storage containers. I get that you're obviously going to filter the water coming out of there anyway before you drink it, but I think there is a test that you do to see what the internal walls are like, and if it's got some biological hazard business going on inside your water tank. 3 times 5,000 gallons. Oh, gallons, wow. So much more than I'm thinking. So yeah, that sounds like the ones that Lasme's got. Yeah? Over in Southern California, I think she is. All empty, Urban Harvesting says. So 3 times 5,000 gallon tanks, man. So that's way more than 5,000 litres then, isn't it? Was it 4.5 litres to a gallon? Yeah. So yeah, that's epic. I'm not going to say it out loud, but it's got to be about a year's worth of water, isn't it? I grew up, this is Tonette here, I grew up outside of Washington DC, spent a number of years out west, mostly near Denver, where we'd been in north and central Kentucky for a very long time. I dislike it, but probably safer. How far away are you there then? Is that where you are now, Tonette? I'm not sure where in America you are. Oh yeah, Lasme, look, I didn't know she was still here. So yeah, she's got 2 times 5,000 litres. I thought they were the similar sized tanks that she's got. Law here for fire risk area is 45,000 litre water storage per bedroom. Interesting. There's a whole chapter in my book to do with the Ultimate Prepping Guide, which again will be launched in a couple of weeks' time. But in the surviving natural disasters is broken into 12 sections, yeah, for 12 different natural, what the fuck is that? 12 different, so the massive beetle just flew straight past my head. But there's a massive section there, and it breaks down all of the natural disasters, one of them being wildfires. Yeah, it's nasty. I think it's like, flooding's pretty bad as well. I've been in a flood, but I've not been in a wildfire. But I imagine it's a similar sensation, because in a flood there's a feeling of complete defenselessness. There's a complete lack of the ability to do anything to stop the flood happening, in the same way as the wildfire is that inability to do anything. It's like impossible. Really, really challenging, and it's really emotionally just having to watch the destruction happen and do nothing about it, because Mother Nature will always win. Yeah, she'll always bend you over, and you know, let's just say it's never going to be lubed. When Mother Nature's involved, it's never lubed. I'm sure I'll make a quote out of that at some point. Nature never arrives fully lubed. In a survival crisis, nature never arrives fully lubed. Oh man. How long does fire? Yeah, I'm interested to know how long 5,000 gallons would last. Like, assuming you weren't going to have them topped up at all or anything, and your well stopped working, or your pump or whatever. Did Tanette say where she was? Oh, North Central Kentucky. Okay. North Central Kentucky. Let me visualise this properly. I like to look it up. This is how I know places, and everyone's going, how do you even know where all these places are in America? I mean, you've never been there. It's like, well, I've been to Canada, but I've never been to America. But it's from situations like this where I get to know where all my friends around the world live. Yeah. All my Sigma Prepper friends. What am I looking for? Google Earth. Which is on here somewhere. Here we go. What do I want? North Central Kentucky. North Korea? No. North Central Kentucky. I've got a feeling that's probably Robert McNamara's the closest to you. North Central Kentucky area, North Central Virginia Beach. Eh? Kentucky. Doesn't seem to want to. It keeps going Virginia Beach because there's South Kentucky Avenue, right? It's like, no, I want. Let's go here. Okay, no, you're actually more near to. Probably more near. So is that near Louisville and stuff like that then, is it, isn't it? The well automatically replenishes them. Yeah, it'd be interesting to know, Lafsme, how long without, you know, like in an SHTF scenario, how long that water would last without it being topped up. So Tonette's oldest son goes out to wildfires, talking of wildfires. He coordinates the medics and medical services and equipment now, instead of right on the line anymore. But it's not safe. Wow, fair play to your son. You're not that far. Yeah, it's funny because I've just seen Robert say they're probably 300 miles or so. You can breathe in a flood though, says Daily Survival. That's a really good point. But I'll tell you what the problems are with a flood that I hadn't expected when I was involved in a real big one when we were living in Thailand. And we were on a small little island, so we got cut off from everything for ages. I'm talking weeks, and especially because the pier is part of the storm that created the flood and the storm surge that accelerated the flood. Because of all that, there was a few things that hit the fan. First of all, our well was contaminated, so we had no drinking water. The main drinking water trucks stopped coming round for about 3 weeks. Yeah, literally not a single water truck came round to drop off water. That was a problem. The other problem was that there was like sewage and oil and gasoline and goodness knows what else floating around in this water, right? And you can't see what's underneath your feet because it's so murky. So in terms of like biological hazard is not ideal, and the pier on the island where the ferry would come and dock had got blown away and wiped away with the storm surge, right? So there was no way that any of the ferries could actually dock at the island to drop off any supplies, right? So the cascade effect of just a flood was epic, plus the power went out for about 2 weeks as well. So this is partly why it became a big chapter in the ultimate prepping guide that I'm writing, is for the surviving. The chapter title is Surviving Natural Disasters, and it is all about that. It's about the cascade effect of like a wildfire. You know, it's about having breathing apparatus. It's about having, you know, your carbon monoxide sensors and stuff, as well as your exit routes and your gas tanks filled up, and the cascade effect of a wildfire with not just the destruction of your property, but the routes of getting in and out, which is emergency services and supplies getting in and out, right? there's such a big, and the power outages as well, with the power lines getting burnt down along with it. It's bad news, right? It's so many different things that are stem from the original disaster that a lot of people tend to overlook. So by highlighting, as I've done in this chapter, all the things that typically would cascade effect after that, when you're thinking through your preps and how you'd prepare for that, it makes it much easier if you can visualize, you know, all the things that will go wrong as a result of a flood or a tsunami or a volcano eruption, or a pandemic, which is one of the natural disasters in there. Just checking out the chat. I think extreme northwest Kentucky touches the... Yeah, I was just between Indiana and Idaho, says There's Survival. So Lexington is round near there, isn't it? I'm just trying to see where you are, Robert. Yeah, it's a big old country, America, isn't it? It is at the moment, anyway. Aren't our countries seemingly getting smaller and smaller, though? It's funny, that, isn't it? There's a big old spider on my tee box, and there's another one hanging off it. Look. Do you mind? Can everyone leave my stuff alone? I'm under the tarp here anyway, so I'm alright. But it's just what's been crawling around down there. So I think this is the second one I might have had today. I have to go easy on them. I got quite a lot of time left out in the woods. So please hit the like button if you've forgotten to do so. It's just more of a casual catch up, this one. Because like I say, I only got set up in camp really late. Bardstown. That's handy. I see. Yeah, that's pretty much bang where I had it. Yeah, near Louisville. I don't know if you heard. Oh, there. Oh, I didn't know that's near where Fort Knox is. How exciting. Am I right in saying you live near Fort Knox, Tonette? I've lost it again now. Oh no, here it is. Yeah, Fort Knox. I'm going to zoom in. God, it's big, isn't it? Fort Knox. I don't know which bit it is though. Yeah, look. So that's Fort Knox. Look. Ooh. My jelly babies got dropped. I should put them back in my food bag, really. Yummy. What's the poison in Russia, Sandy? Do you know what? I think I mentioned this, but not on Sigma Prepper. There's a where am I going? There's a chapter in the book which is about the SHTF intel sources, right? And it lists all the SHTF intel sources I would usually do on my intel live streams, right? The global threat analysis. And the thing is, it looks like this, right? So this is all of the... Which way am I going? That's the last page. Sorry, I'm doing it in reverse here. So yeah, the SHTF scenario, SHTF intel sources. And these are like all the links that I use for when I'm putting the news together, right? Which I'm going to start doing a couple more each week on the Sigma Prepper YouTube channel. But one of the best sources that I've ever found, right, I think is this one. Alternative News and Reports, right? And this one at the top here, right, you click it, it gives you a brief, when you go there, look, domain name, like, what? Get this domain name. They've basically shut down. So what's going on there? Or they were shut down, one of the two. So I've got to replace that link now that's in the book, right? And I only put this chapter together like about 2 months ago. So I've got to figure that out. But it's also, I'll tell you what it is, right? It's one of those places, and it's like you go there and it's got all the news articles from all the different news sources, you know, things like Politico and Zero Hedge and like just all the alternative mainstream. It just pulls out all the top headlines and puts them all the way down, even like the SGT report and all that stuff, right? And it lists them all through, and you can just go boom, pop out the news stories that are sort of relevant to what's going on. It was great. I've got hiccups now, so I don't know what happened to that. But yeah, it just seems to have disappeared. So well disappointed about that. But it's a great source of alternative news, and just go there and check it out, and it'll give you a rundown. Oops. Just put my iPad in the dirt, which is not a good look. Please hit the like button if you haven't done already. I really appreciate you stopping by and saying hi. The weapons storage base that got bombed. Oh really? What? How long ago was that? What have I missed? And yes, Tonette lives near Fort Knox. How exciting. You know, when I was a kid growing up, it was like Fort Knox was all the talk, right? It was all like, all the scenarios you would give someone, it's like, you know, it would always be like Fort Knox would be involved in various scenarios, yeah. Hey, Connie, my darling, my absolute wonderful one, how are you? So lovely to see you. I hope things are well with you. We were just talking about wildfires earlier. I hope everything's all right where you are. Lasmi was with us earlier as well. All my ladies from the West Coast, yeah? All my ladies from the West Side. Oh no, it's like that, West Side? East Side? West Side? Don't know, something like that. Oh, my darling. Oh, there's a big one there from Robert. I live about 20 miles from Fort Wood, and it has experienced non-stop growth. It used to be just Army engineers. Now it has everything except the Coast Guard here, and it is the chemical biological base. Oh man. Oh look, everyone's missed Connie. We haven't seen her for ages. That's why I've got to do more. I mean, I've committed to doing the daily TikTok videos now. There's no reason why I couldn't do daily YouTube shorts as well. You know, just short videos. There's no reason why not. I've got so much I'm working on at the moment. There's no lack of stuff to talk about. So yeah, I need to be just, and now I'm getting towards the end of writing this book, I need to be getting it out there, and I need to be just doing the videos, get the SHTF intel reports. It's just getting a bit tricky for that kind of content, obviously, you know, particularly being in the UK, but there's plenty I can still talk about, and I'm hoping once we build the audience back up, we can do the full Sigma Prepper live shows with all the segments in there, with the quotes, the memes, the Prepper's Progress and the quiz, Prepper quiz, don't forget, and stuff like that, right? There's going to be so much coming up. I'm super excited. I've put so much into Sigma Prepper over the last couple of years, and I haven't even launched it properly yet. I'm just getting there now, and with this new Ultimate Prepping Guide book that I'm writing, it's going to be like the launch. It should start kicking everything off from that point onwards. And plan to really grow this channel, make sure we get monetized, and get monetized within the next, I don't know, before Christmas, I'd hope. It's a challenge. But yeah, Urban Harvesting's in the house. I don't know if he's still in the house now, Connie, but he was done. He was. Blast from attack on Russian depot picked up on earthquake monitors. Oh wow. Thank you, Sandy, for giving us a heads up on that one. Getting a bit of a cold bum. Gonna roll myself a cigarette. I'll tell you what, I'm super glad I bought the foldable chair though. This is another reason why I had to do a couple of trips with all the kit to get it all here into the woods. I couldn't do it in one go, carrying all it in one go. I had to go back for another media bag and this foldable chair as well, which yeah, I'm glad I did, because sitting on the floor, when you're 78 years old, sitting on the floor is just not a good look. Yeah. And then when I get up, I sound like a 78-year-old. Or a 70s porn star. Whichever's closest. Oh dear. Yeah, what do you think? I was going to say, Daily Survivor, what do you think whether I should do portrait or landscape for tomorrow's live stream from the woods? If I haven't had a branch fall on my head tonight while I'm sleeping. It is possible. The wind's just picked up again, by the way. If you hear a massive crunch sound and the live stream all goes black, you'll know what happened, yeah? I got wiped out by a rogue branch, and I've seen two, one that side, right above my tarp, right above my what do you call it? So I think I'm kind of a bit of my shell, going to be around more. That's what I like to hear, Connie. Did you hear as well, Connie, I've got a super special wild discount going on the Ultimate Hotspot today. So I'm doing ultimate wild discounts while I'm doing wild camp. So spread the word, Connie. If you know anyone who might want an ultimate survival hotspot offline backup internet system, the full kit pro, which I've got one with me actually, my own version. Well, it's the same version as everyone's version, but my own actual Sigma Prepper one that sits in my bug out bag all the time. I've got that in my bag, so I could do a little snap on that tomorrow. But I've got a quantity of 2 at that price, but like instead of 269, we're talking 199 buckaroonies, girlfriend. Maximum quantity of 2. There are about 5 in stock, but in terms of at that price, that's a loss. Yeah, they're being given away at a loss, and only for the next 2 days, and only a quantity of 2. So anyway, if anyone else out there happens to be listening, links in description of this video with a special custom link that will give you the super duper price. And then it will help me in launching. If I can help anyone to invest in an ultimate hotspot, it will help go towards the getting the book finished that I'm writing and get it out there. So that's the plan. So I'll be trying to push the hotspots again. I've got a new batch of custom laser engraved cases back, so I might as well get them out to the people who need them most as much as I can. So that's the very best I can do for the next couple of days. Super duper crazy discount, and I'm going to make that a regular feature when I'm doing a wild camp from now on, is while I'm in the woods, that will remain, and then when I get home I turn it off and it will go back to regular pricing for whatever the remaining quantity is. No, don't worry about it, Connie. Just if you know anyone who might know anyone who knows someone, yeah. In case you know someone who knows someone, right, is the idea. Oh dear. So yeah, I reckon we're down to about, how long has it been going? Quite a while, isn't it? More than 2 hours, is it? It's weird, it doesn't tell me like 1 hour 36, where you know, 1 hour 2 hours. It says 136 minutes is what it tells me. But so I'm gonna probably have this last cigarette, and then it's getting a bit chillier as well. I'm probably gonna get myself in the hammock so I can be up nice and early. It's coming up for 1 o'clock now, 10 to 1 in the morning. Is your I was going to ask what Sandy's weather is tomorrow in the UK, where she is, but I've got her location on my weather app, so I can see for myself. Yeah, it looks like she's got a good day on Thursday and Friday, complete sun, no cloud at all. So, and it looks like there's a few thunderstorms around at the weekend in the UK. But yeah, it looks like you've got a sunny day tomorrow as well, Sandy, where you are. Oh, you see, look, this is updated and now it's got mainly sunny for Thursday. Before it had sunny with no pictures of clouds at all. Now it's got a bit of cloud and sun, so it's not even going to be perfectly sunny tomorrow. And then tomorrow I'm supposed to be doing a full test on recharging my battery banks from solar, which, judging by how much this phone's drained down by streaming live tonight, yeah, it's literally been on the red for ages. I don't think it's got much left in it, so catch you later, Urban Harvesting. Good to see you, my man. 2 hours 17 minutes, says Daily Survival. I'll catch you in the next one. I'll be back on tomorrow night probably, so so I shall catch you then. It's still going to be nice tomorrow. It's still going to be warm, but it's just not perfectly sunny as it was going to be, unfortunately. So yeah, please do, if you are, do also follow me on TikTok, because I've committed the other day, 3 days ago, I committed to my daily TikTok challenge, and I'm going to do the same for a YouTube Shorts as well. I'll tell you what, that's 2 hours I've been rocking in the woods, yeah, with this light on, which I've got it at the very dimmest. It probably shows. It's the camera's doing a really good job of the lighting, to be honest, because the light up there is on like number 2%. If I do 1%, it basically turns off. But I'm just sure that everyone can see this camp area from walking along that track down there, is what I'm worried about. I'll have to get that phone on charge as soon as I finish the live stream. It's not good to discharge your phone right the way down. Yeah, do you see, I'll tell you what might be a good idea, to be honest, is do a live stream in the afternoon, then I ain't got to worry about the lighting, have I? Yeah, that would be a clever thing to do. I need to shoot some standard video anyway from stuff around the camp that I'm doing, but if I try and get all that out of the way, and it might be worth doing a live stream sort of daytime-ish. I mean, that might not be quite as convenient for people, but there's no reason why I can't do two live streams. Please hit the like button if you haven't done already. Oh, it's Tonette off as well. Catch you later, Tonette. Thank you for popping in and saying hi and keeping me company out here in the wilderness with the badgers and the squirrels and the foxes and the owls. The owls seem to have gone. They were only out for about half an hour doing their twit-to-oo business, but that's quite nice to hear. I'm looking forward to waking up in the morning with birdsong. Yeah. There was a particular time when I camped here on this wild camp location, and I remember waking up in the morning and I looked out, and it's like, you know, when you suddenly remember that you're not at home and you're like, oh, where am I? And I looked out on my hammock and it was the most beautiful scene with the sun gleaming down, right? With all the real nice lush green foliage in the background and the sun streaming through the trees. It was really nice to wake up to, and the birds just absolutely singing their nuts off. I'm hoping it's going to be like that tomorrow. I was going to say I could yeah, lovely to see you too, Tonette. So when I do my world tour and I go and visit Tonette, I basically means I get to go and have a little snidey visit to the Fort Knox as well. I don't know if you can just turn up there as a guest, can you, to Fort Knox and have a look about? I'm sure it's a tourist attraction more than anything now. I don't think there's any gold in there, is there? They sold that ages ago. Yeah, look, Lafsme's in the house. Got both my ladies from the West Coast rocking with us. So yeah, this is I do actually have a cable that allows me to have my mic plugged into the iOS jack, the lightning port, as well as a charger, which I could do with maybe having tomorrow, so I'm not quite limited on the battery power then. But yeah, it's the battery's really struggling. It's not going to last very long, so I better I better wind down the live stream and then get this camera back on charge as quick as possible. But oh yeah, low battery alarm I just had come up at the top there. Like it. Okay, well I better rock and roll because I'm getting battery alerts now, which is kind of leads on well to the reason for this camp. Two reasons. First of all, testing my new solar panel kit so I can do an off-grid bushcraft version. So it's a much more condensed solar panel version. I've got 40 watts, but it means that theoretically I should be able to perpetually be able to charge all my stuff. Leading on to the next thing that I'm here to do as well in this couple of days I'm here, wild camping, is testing my new electric water pump for the water filter system. So I haven't used that before. I've tested it in lab conditions with buckets of water and things like this, but I haven't actually tossed the filter into the lake and filtered it straight out into a bottle. So we'll see how that works out. I'll be boiling it as well in the Kelly kettle before drinking it, but that's the plan for tomorrow, is to get the solar panel set up while the sun's out and see how that performs. I've got some equipment to test how many watts I'm actually getting out of it and what I can charge from it with the sun. It looks like it's not going to be perfect sun tomorrow as well, so it will be more realistic conditions. It won't be perfect sunlight, and we're coming to the end of summer now anyway, so it won't be direct sunlight anyway. So it'll be a fair test, I think. So I'll be interested to see how we can keep the USB battery banks running on that, and of course my new electric water pump I'm using to automatically filter all my water just by pushing a button and sitting there, you know, chewing on a candy bar while I wait for my clean water to filter automatically. That requires the use of those battery banks, so they're kind of both in line with each other. And yeah, So thank you everyone for being with us. I really appreciate it. Do keep in touch tomorrow. I'll be about. Do make sure you're following my TikTok account as well if you haven't done already. The links to that's in the description too. Thank you, Daily Survival, moderator of all moderators. Thank you to our other moderators, Sandy in the house. Great to see you, my darling. Urban Harvesting as well. Lovely to see you popping in. And all of our best friends here with us tonight, including Connie, Laughs Me, and Robert McNamara. Such a wonderful bunch. Thank you so much. And of course we had eagle hunting and pedigree mongrel earlier as well. Popping in, so that's exactly what I wanted tonight, just to be around friends and to you know, get out into wilderness, be in nature, and be with the wolf pack. And here we are. It's been a wonderful evening together, so thank you everyone for tuning in. Please hit the like button on the way out if you haven't already. I'm sure you all have, but in the meantime, from me, the Sigma Prepper, what can I tell you? It's been a pretty cold night, and now I'm set up. Watch out for tomorrow, and I shall hopefully catch up with you then. In the meantime, love, peace and progress to the pack, everyone. Good night.